Okay. Hello, everyone. I got no script. This is so on the fly. I finally tried to edit the footage that I got at the Switch 2 experience in Melbourne last week. I hope the footage is good enough. The recording quality is kind of bad. There are a few things in hindsight that I should have done to make it a bit nicer. Editing can't really fix everything. But yeah, Mario Kart footage. There's about an hour and 20 minutes worth, maybe. So I'm just gonna do a live commentary of it. I don't know. Could be fun, I think. So for people who haven't seen any other footage or didn't know how the event worked, because this first race, it warms up. It's nothing too exciting to begin with. I picked Baby Mario because of the outfit. In his little beach attire. I thought it was very cute. Anyway, the start of the event. We queued up outside for about half an hour, or like in this small room, got to see the console. There were about 4 people lined up with consoles in front of them, and you could like pull apart the Joy-Cons, see how it felt. I didn't do that. I was, confrontation with other people. Yikes. Gonna be filled with terrible jokes because it's, what, 80 minutes worth of me to just yap through. But then after we sat around, waited for everyone to get in, we played Mario Kart. We did 2 Grand Prix races in a small room. And I played one as Cow, one as Peach. Won both of those because they were against bots. That's, bit different, bit easy. But then once those were over, they opened up the room and there was a bunch of different sections. I just spent my entire time here at the Mario Kart area. That's all I was interested in. Also, that Nintendo employee's having a bit of fun. I didn't even notice that until after the race. I was with one of the other people there later, and they were saying that I hope that they enjoyed the dances. So you might get to see that. It might be cropped out. I don't know. Before this race, though, I played one game as Nabbit of Knockout Tour. I wanted to play one as Nabbit. Didn't record, didn't have time. I was in the line, and I thought I'd have a bit more time, but I found myself in there very quickly, and my tripod was not ready to go. So, second race of the day, or second Knockout Tour of the day, playing as Baby Mario. Not really a character I'd pick normally. It was just the outfit that kind of suited the occasion. As you can hear, there's a commentator. Guy commentating the entire day, mostly. There are some small breaks here and there. I'm sure he would have been so exhausted by the end. But anyway, I should probably talk about the game. I had so much fun. I know 100cc, auto excel, and smart steering doesn't make for like a perfect experience. I'm so used to playing like 150 or 200 and just absolutely like flying. I think 200 will be in this game. Before I played, I was so certain that 200 had to be in the game because the game, like, the roads are so big. But something you just like don't really get to see from the footage is at times, like, when I was playing, I didn't feel like I was bored or like the tracks were massive and I was going really slow. Because when you're in the pack, you're getting hit by people. Like, look behind me. Sorry about the terrible focus there. Again, this is the first time I'd ever used a tripod with my phone. It was more of a spur of the moment. That is something to mention, though. The Kamek item. Something I wasn't expecting is when you get transformed into one of the enemies, you actually lose your drift. It played a bigger part later. I've got 9 races recorded. And, yeah, like, puts like steering lock or something, you just like lose your drift and then you just head straight, and it's really annoying at times. I feel like it can be a really good item through like a really technical area, especially that small zone, a very thin road, lots of the snowy pokies. I think that's what they're called. Please forgive me if I get names of enemies wrong. But yeah, I don't remember how I did in the Nabbit race to begin with. I think I was maybe 16th or lower. It was a very bad start. Trying a few things out. I know in some footage from a few weeks ago from someone else who was able to play early, trying snaking and chaining the ground, the charge jumps, that's what they're called. I can remember that. And it wasn't particularly, like, it didn't seem like it was any faster than just driving, which is a bit of a shame, but I can kind of get it too. I got absolutely rolled there, by the way. Yeah, I haven't really been paying attention to this footage, but yeah, I just was trying out a few things. The smart steering was kind of screwing me over at points. I think everyone knows by now how good the golden mushroom is. The pack is so bunched together, you get really good items at the back, and then there's just like, you know, the road, it's not super curvy and like windy and everything, but there are significant turns at points, and you can just cut off like 10 seconds worth of grass, and it's like so good just because it's so open. You can't really make that kind of ground with any other item in the game. The rail grinding's good fun. I tried it a couple of times. Chaining, flipping forwards. There was one time I did it, and I was significantly slower than the people like beside me, which felt really wrong. But I think it might have been something else to do with it. I don't know. There is a bit of footage coming up. It's in a couple of races' time, maybe. Where I take a rail and it acts as if it's like an off-road rail. It really surprised me. I guess like it kind of makes sense, but I'm also just like surprised that there's off-road rails. But I know my footage isn't really doing it justice at the moment, but the game looked beautiful. Some people have mentioned how good the Pro Controller the joystick on the Pro Controller feels. Actually incredible. I remember, like, I was just sitting there one time, and I felt, oh, I should, you know, see how it feels, even though I'd been playing for like half an hour and used it for all that time. I never really, like, registered how nice it was. And then I tried it, and I was just blown away. I think this might be the only time I got to play this tour. Or this, rally, sorry. I got really unlucky with the, rally selection. I don't remember what I played as Nabbit, but I'm fairly certain it was not something that I played just once. You'll see it later on. I have, 9 races recorded and then 4 more that I didn't. First one I just didn't get time, and then the 3 at the end were because my phone was getting very low on battery and I didn't want to risk it dying. But looks like this race is going well so far at the back, but it feels a bit counterintuitive in the air. You can do as many flips as you want, but it's like the first trick is the only one that really matters. Also, yeah, golden mushroom just goes absolutely nuts. You sit at the back, you can farm coins. You can still considerably farm coins, like, anywhere. This pit, I think something will be there, but I'm not 100% on that. Maybe it's something that isn't there during the tour, or like the rally, but it's there in free roam as something potentially you unlock by doing P-switches. I'm not certain. Coming up to the most heartbreaking part of the race. I'm probably going to put a bunch of spoilers in here, or just like spoil the outcomes of races before we even get to it. Huge moment coming up that, oh my god, the smart steering! And I actually missed out on the top 4 by, I don't know, half an inch. Unlucky. Baby Mario looks very sad. And I was also very sad. But now we just move straight on to Daisy. I think this is where I got some footage of the binoculars that I was offering to show someone, but I just completely forgot to do it. And I also never heard back as far as I know. But yeah, here we go. Binoculars by Wario Shipyard. Here's that whirlpool where I think something could be. It just kind of like fits the frame really nicely for an enemy to be there, like a big sea monster. But you know, nice little view. It's not, you know, too crazy. You get to see the food truck, a bit more of the track. I'm sure you'd be able to see like the P switches and stuff. Forgive the street sweeper. You might be able to hear that in the background. Oops. Yeah, I saw a little helicopter that I wanted to try. It was like the flying version of those big semi-trucks that you've been able to drive into. Some people have been able to get clips of that. I tried my best to get over there. We'll see if I do. I did get a bit lost. I don't know how I'm so bad. But yeah, there you go. Flies away just at the wrong time. And on top of that, sorry for the flashbang and the out of focus. Yeah, I'm not really a cinematographer. I thought I expected something else here. This is a bit stupid. You might hear me in the background say that I was expecting something. There you go. I don't know if I'm going to mute the audio fully while I'm just talking over the top. Could be something I do. We'll find out, I guess. But we got my vote. That's big. Let's see. I forgive that guy for saying it's the banana rally. Very funny. This might be the only time I played this one. Oh no, I played this one twice. The other time was right at the end. That I didn't get recorded, which is a shame. I feel like I had to pick this Daisy costume. A lot of people have been talking about it. Its origins from Super Mario World and like Sarasa Land, which I have next to no knowledge about. I just know it's from another game. There's that enemy on one of the like track preview images. I forget what they're called. And they're talking about Sarasa Land. I was like, well, I gotta give it a try. And I picked the magic carpet, and I felt like it was a good combo at the time. Not really, I just picked it because they fit. Something that I guess I felt really early on when I started trying to drift was how slidey the cart felt. But I don't know if that is... Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't feel like I had the same traction as you kind of do in 8 Deluxe. But I'm not sure if that's just because it's a 100cc and there's like smart steering and stuff. The auto trailing got me a few times. That was something that like my muscle memory was not used to. I was so used to just like pressing the button immediately. There's a few times that I'm like trying to cycle through something to get to another item and I'll use both of them. Just because it's such a habit. I think we're heading into Toad's factory now. I know some people have been discussing the effects of the shock and if it's actually... Like, it does seem worse than in 8 Deluxe. I think that's, like, confirmed. But I still think it's quite strong. You seem to spend... Like, obviously you don't spend as much time small. Especially at the front of the pack. You get big really quickly. Also, I'm just getting classic Mario Kart right now. And it's so much worse with 20 players. Yes. Talking about... I already forgot my point. This is crazy. This is going to happen so many times throughout the video. The shock. Yes. So you spend less time small. But I feel like the initial stun, you spend more time, like, almost stationary. And it is so punishing to get hit with it in the midfield because all the people at the back, you know, not everyone's getting hit by the shock anymore. So there's people behind the person that uses it that are going to, like, have their goldens, their bullet bills, their stars, and everything. And they're just going to blitz right past you. And that can even happen as soon as you're in, like, 4th place. That's, like, top of the midfield almost. It can even be first, really. Depends on how bunched the pack is. I feel I only got a star, like, once the entire time I was playing any of these races. It felt really strange. The item balancing is a bit different. I was getting goldens a lot, which I feel like I get goldens a lot in 8 Deluxe, but it feels just worse because they're so much worse in that game. But yeah, I feel like it was quite easy to get a lot of coins. Also, seeing Piranha Plant as a driver still makes me scared because I think someone has a Piranha Plant. And I will just naturally drive away from them. That coin item is very fun to spam. I thought it would last a little bit longer, but you do just kind of like bang, 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 and it's done. Drafting seems probably like the best strategy. Here I can get a couple of front flips in, say I'm trying to get back onto the rail. It's fun doing that, I will admit. That tech, it might not be super fast and like meta, but it is a lot of fun. And the tricking, sometimes there were tricks being automatically done. I don't know if that was something that comes from like auto accelerate. Not certain. But also, I've just quietly smuggled this golden into 5th place, but now I have to use it because I'm really bad at the game and I just drive into the cars all the time. I think that also helps with how, like, some people have complained about how boring it is. The traffic, especially on these roads, you know, it's not that wide. Noob. Imagine missing the blue dodge there. I'm still yet to actually figure out if the food items will allow you to dodge the blue shell. It was like, I was screaming at me to eat my ice cream. I was like, hold on, let me dodge the blue first, but I didn't do it anyway, so I just looked like a fool. Because like I dodge a blue a couple of times with mushrooms. I do one in the next race. Spoiler alert. I remember the Nintendo in the Treehouse event, they mentioned that you can dodge it with the feather. I watched a short earlier today that has just completely, like, made me question his thinking altogether. I just don't believe it at all now. Yeah, I think it was about this point that I realized that I should just not use my items and wait to the very end. Like, wait till you get a golden and something else. Hopefully avoid the shock. If you're sitting at the back, you will avoid the shock anyway, because either you're behind the person who has it, or you're last. And here, it was just a matter of trying to use the golden at the right time, and I waited just a little bit too long, I think. Like, you see how fast you can go, but I just miss out. Spoilers. Something else I just cut out there to quick edit the footage because I just wasn't really paying attention.
Oh, if only, eh? If only,
Having a
eh?
nice chat with the Nintendo employee there. It was a LAN setup. I was talking to someone about this later. And 16 consoles, and it still felt like there were bits of lag. I know it's probably running off the same framework that they'll have to use online. So they're probably just saving themselves a little bit there. But you know, had to bust out the cow. This is for Jazz. There's 3 cows in this race, as far as I can see. Yep. Again, sorry for the quality. My phone's a piece of shit, and I'm not really like. This is my first time ever like filming something in this sort of manner with a tripod. I picked up this tripod for like 20 bucks, and it was actually really good quality. It was just more. I was so excited for the event and being able to record that I never just like thought about how I was recording it. And so you can kind of see here, cows just kind of like driving into the void, the white void. Again, this is so much fun, and you hit the blocks on the way past. Such a nice little detail, and I get to bounce off the car too. You might strain your eyes a little bit here. Apologies. Yeah, here we go. Driving in. It's snow, right, guys? Just kidding. Yeah, it was I chose this combo in the first Grand Prix that I played. Cow in the bullet bill. I think I've actually called the art. Also, shock dodge. Bam! So cringe. Holy shit. And I thought it was really good. I'd seen some discussion online already about how acceleration kind of doesn't seem like a great stat to have, and it feels like it's better to just max out your top speed. I don't. Obviously, no one's had enough time on the game to figure this out properly. The effect of going from a 10 coin max to 20, whether like, you know, 0 to 10 was, I don't actually remember the speed, the percentage difference in speed. But if it's just that same percentage just stretched out over 20 coins, or if it's actually heightened, I would believe it's the first one. I feel like they wouldn't go that crazy and overboard. Also, I just managed to get myself in a first, throw the bomb forwards like a fool. Just kidding! This is the little moment, like, smart steering puts me up here, and you see how slow I'm going? I'm convinced that that was off-road. I was not ready for that at all. So yeah, I predominantly stuck to, well, I guess, when I was still in the process of trying to win, I was picking combos that had high top speed. Because, you know, you don't... The only time it really matters to get hit and to get moving again quickly is right at the end of a stint. But I think the idea is either you want to be front running and using your top speed to just continue to get away, or you want to sit at the back. I don't think... It's not bagging because you're not potentially, like, stalling at an item box. I guess you really couldn't do that with Auto XL. But also the feather's really bad for, like, there's a couple of times I used it after getting hit and there's no acceleration on it. You just kind of send yourself into the air while speeding up. It's really bad. It's like a recovery. I gotta remember to, you know, stop doing that. That green shell bounce, by the way, anyone keen eyes, that's like the 3rd time I've seen that now. I'm still can't get over about how ridiculous that bounce was. Smart bounce is real. What was I saying? I already lost my point. This is really bad. That's right, I got like an hour left to discuss this. Yeah, actually, yeah, it was the strategy that I was thinking of. So either like you sit at the back and you just get like a golden or like a bullet. I don't know. I guess the bullet and the star have upside in that you can get dodges really easy with them, but they just don't provide you the same speed boost as mushrooms do, the golden mushroom. Also, another, like, tiny thing in my head, I was talking about how yet to see the feather dodge the blue shell at all, and people are still really confused on whether, like, it actually will happen or not, and this person on YouTube believes that it won't, and I'm starting to believe that is also the case. I don't think I ever got a chance to actually dodge with a feather. But, boom! I'd missed another one before. I think I must have been talking about the one with the ice cream with Daisy. But that's what I was thinking. So you can dodge with a mushroom, you can dodge with a horn. I was thinking maybe you can dodge with the food. But I don't know, because there's 3 tiers of food, right? There's the ones you get, like the weak one, that's weaker than a mushroom. And then there's like the middle one, which I assume is the same strength as a mushroom. And then there's the one you get towards the back, which would be stronger. I wonder if you can dodge with the middle, like the last 2 and not the first one, because otherwise, like, you know, you can get food for free at first, right? Because you just have to drive a little bit out of your way to get there. And sometimes it's not even out of your way. There's trucks that come past and will drop food for you. Like that one that's dropping mushrooms. They can drop food bags. So, you know, having access to boosts is not that hard for anyone, really. I guess when you're in the pack, it's a bit harder. I made such a big error there. I don't know why. I was like always set on the double item box. I would always go for it in every situation, but I was like, oh, mushroom, must pick it up. Very brain dead. You can see a bit of the Donkey Kong Bonanza stall in the background. It is a bit hard to see what's going on, but that's not what we're here for anyway. Another blue shell. We love it. Don't stop it. The Nintendo people were getting very excited when people were getting towards checkpoints. But you see how easy it is to get food? Like, it's not an item that becomes available after a certain amount of people have passed, like, a section. It is just there. And I think it does, like, item boxes respawn quite quickly. I don't think that's the case with the food. I think it respawns just a little bit slower, but I might be making that up. You're about to watch insane Sixth Sense. Also, that is kind of like frustrating. There's the moment, by the way. Dodge the green shell. So easy. So telegraphed. I knew you were going to backspam that. Spoken like a fellow backspammer. When you're drifting and you hit a car, unless you hit the dead center of it, you will spin out. Like, you'll spin if you hit the middle of it. But if you hit the side, you go up on 2 wheels, or like your car will, you know, not be balanced anymore. And that can be, it's good because you're not getting ruined for just like slightly tapping a car when, you know, the road can be so congested. But also it ruins your drift, and it can kind of like set you back a little bit. Obviously, if, you know, the person playing the game was better, then it wouldn't be an issue. Also, you might get a little bit of like a, this kind of looks boring moment. I'll spoil it for you guys. I don't use items for the rest of this race. From that item box where I got these 2, I just sit with them till the end. But you can see again the effect of, like, you start to drift, you hit a car, you go up on 2 wheels, and then you kind of just like feel really awkward in that spot. It could be really interesting tech to see if you can tilt your car up like that to like dodge a red shell or something. It'd be ridiculous. Some charge jumps would be a much easier way to do it, because you can just charge one, jump over the shell, or jump onto a car and dodge the shell. Like, yeah. Yeah, I think this is still, obviously, like, the entire day I believed that you were able to dodge a blue with a feather, so I was just holding it. And obviously keeping the coin in case the boo comes out. I barely realized there were boost panels here. I think I was looking away at that moment. I looked back and just, like, kind of panicked. I think this is the one time I got to... Yeah, the one time I got to drive on the Heart Rally. Going through Peach Stadium. Very nice track. It still reminds me a lot of Mario Stadium from 8 Deluxe, the first course. That section's really thin. That surprised me a lot. It's like, how are 24 people going to fit on there? But, I guess it's not really a problem when you're in first with such a lead. Again, it might look boring, but I was locked in. Going for my first win of the day. I was so focused. I was so scared someone was just going to hit me with an item. But it must have been around here. I looked at the minimap and saw that Swoop, who's not even a real person, there were 8 bots in every race, came second. It might cut off before then. But yeah, first win of the day. Felt good, and I had to run it back. I was so confident in the cow combo that I went again. Get a bit of barrel action here. I thought your wings would come out in that, but it just kind of shoots you forward a little bit. Didn't feel as awesome as I was expecting.
We're taking a look at the console for the first time here in Melbourne. Everything the Nintendo Switch.
I was about to make a point about... Oh, yes. So there was only 16 consoles up for Knockout Tour. I think some events had all 24. But, yeah, this one only had 16. There were 8 bots in every race. There was one where I was waiting in line. Cataquack almost won the entire thing. And I was just blown away by the other people in the lobby. Because, like, the bots are set to normal. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. You didn't have access to every character, that's why you knew some of them were bots. So, like, Swoop, Pianta, Cataquack, a lot of the enemies were unavailable to be picked. You could play as Goomba, or, like, you couldn't play Conk Door. Yeah, so you could, like, I really wanted to play some of those enemies. Like, you couldn't play as Penguin or Monty Mole, stuff like that. You can see them at the bottom there. This is the first of 4 in a row of the Golden Rally. That's ridiculous. I love the Golden Rally so much. I got so used to the start here. I think this might be the best footage I got. Maybe this one or the next one. Yeah, I hope the quality's... I hope you guys realize the quality of my footage is not the quality of the game. It is a much nicer looking game. It looked awesome on a really nice TV. It still looked good in handheld too. We played one Grand Prix race in handheld and the other one was split screen with a partner. Wanted to get on the rail there, but it was a bit slow. Okay, quick mention, Boomerang, why do you still have the wrong colors from the icon? Or, like, why is the icon the wrong color? Like, I don't get it. We'll see. Ooh, what's gonna happen? Go in the boo. Bam! Shock dodge. We love a good shock dodge. Nope, drifting the wrong way. Thanks, smart steering. Maybe I'm glad it's there at times, especially when you're like figuring out a track, but after a little bit, especially after that Baby Mario moment where like I wanted to take the jump and it just didn't let me. I was like, what's going on? Are you gonna like, just didn't want me to play the game almost. But yeah, this is the first of 4 in a row on the Golden Rally, so get prepared to see this turn a lot. unless my notes are wrong, but I'm fairly certain I wrote these notes properly. Obviously, again, with smart steering, you don't have ultra mini turbos available. I only realized that a couple of races in, and I had to stop going for ultras and just started going for the like mid level. I actually don't remember the name of it. The orange one. You know what I mean. You guys are smart people. You're watching someone play Mario Kart World early on YouTube, so you guys can poke fun at me for my skills as well and my recording ability. Yeah, this is definitely not the peak of anything. But I will admit, I was having such a blast. It was around this time I was getting lots of opportunities to yeah, I had so many opportunities just to like play a game and then get in the line again and then play immediately afterwards, because there weren't too many people lining up at this event. It was only towards the end where I had to start taking like a one race break because the line was getting a bit long. I was fortunate enough to get in like just after the lunch break, so a lot of the groups that have been before us had already left at that time, I think.
16th or higher, folks. Here it comes down to the middle point. Here it is, across that threshold. Who will be left behind?
I think the coin shell, obviously, I'm actually really happy with that, with how that item sits. Also, okay, this moment pissed me off so much.
There's a blue shell, as usual, to get
The blue shell broke the piranha plant that I was gonna try and like use iframes on. Oh my god. But yeah, you saw I was first, getting hit by a blue shell, and back to 14th. This is a bit of a rash decision to use the golden. But yeah, just like immediately back up to third. So it is kind of like, it does feel like you can just rubber band up and back the field as quickly as you like, because, you know, you've seen that clip of Daisy on DK Mountain on the Wii, the classic Mario Kart clip, going from first to last. That's like a choke point with 12 drivers. This, like, it's so easy just to get hit from like second all the way down to like 18th. And the most important thing is kind of just like when you get hit. Shouldn't really be like, you know, if you're gonna get hit early so you can get items and then get back later. It's so punishing getting hit between the last item set and the line, especially by a shock, or, you know, you use your items which aren't, you know, amazing. You have like triple greens and like, I don't know, looper or something. These track hazards were good. I liked the variety that they gave. I think the most annoying thing was when they drove through item boxes and you couldn't pick up double items. So I'm just like, item poor. I think I mentioned that a couple of times. I just missed items at points. And it can feel like you're kind of naked when you don't have an item. It's really strange. You're just kind of like a passenger in those moments.
Beautiful defense though from the other racer there. 8 or better, folks. 8 or better is going to be where you need to sit in order to stay in the game. Get yourselves in 8 or better.
Very funny seeing the Goombas in the shoes. I will admit, like, you know, I can kind of relax a bit now and take in the other things, compared to just like being completely locked in and driving and focusing on when I'm like entering a drift and all of that. Also, I was such a noob. So I did this, like, I had this rally 4 times in a row. I think all 4 times I did that turn wrong. And it was the one time I didn't record, was the one time I decided I should do it right and start wide and then cut in later.
Those clouds gather and rain starts to hit the track. Do not let up. Just like that rain, you will need to keep
The commentator a couple of times sends a very, very silly, interesting things that kind of made me raise an eyebrow. I'm like, how can you be getting away with saying this at a Nintendo event? It was very funny. I don't remember exactly. There might be one moment where I caught it on video. But yeah, you can see like the variety of different paths you can take. Like, I didn't even need to take that jump. It was probably worth that I did. I felt like I was really bad at defending red shells. I don't know if it's because the warning sign on the bottom of the screen shows up too late, or I don't know. I felt like I was getting hit by reds a lot more than I normally would. Whether that's like what item I'm trailing at the time. I think I should just take the shortcut here. I was a bit hesitant, a bit stupid. Oh, I had to be top 4 here. Maybe that's why I waited.
Absolutely beautiful defense there as we head up the roots of that tree, making our way to the finish line.
But yeah, the environments are awesome. I didn't get a full taste of all of them, sadly, because I was just subject to playing one rally like over and over, and that wasn't. They didn't force it on us. I just got really unlucky in the voting process. Yeah, I just like a couple of times I just watched myself trick and I don't see the boost after like the first or after the second trick. I feel really stupid. Sometimes these last sections can feel quite anticlimactic. I don't know whether that's because the people in 3rd and 4th are so hell-bent on trying to just like even make up one place that they've ruined 2nd's chance of like catching 1st. But you know how it goes. We do the back-to-back, and that actually was back-to-back. It wasn't exactly just like my 2 races in a row. But now we get a Waluigi race. I figured at this point, after going 2 in a row, I should probably pick a different character. And I think from this point on, every race I pick someone new, except for the very last one, because the Nintendo employee was trying to tell me that they had a bunch of cow puns ready to go. And I had to see what they had, but they were quite disappointing. Maybe not as disappointing as the one before, though, because I'll spoil it. So there were 3 races I did after I finished recording. The last one I played as Cow, and I came 5th on the Moon Rally, which I do have footage of. Well, like, you've seen me play the Moon Rally already as Daisy. The one before that, I came 21st as Bowser in the Golden Rally. And that was not in my hands. I'm going to pin it on the Nintendo person. They, I asked them, who should I pick? They were a bit stunned. They didn't quite know what to say. And they saw I was just hovered on Bowser during the waiting period. And they're like, oh, play Bowser. Sure, why not? I'll pick Bowser. I'll pique your very low interest. Also, how sad was that? Just bounces off the Shy Guy. I was expecting, like, I don't know, something a bit more intense. What was I saying? And yeah, so after I picked Bowser, I said, what should I drive? Because, yeah, at this point, I'd won a little bit. I was just having a bit more fun. And they're like, oh, I really like high acceleration. And in my head, I was like, oh. So they picked the Scooty bike. I forget what the name of it is exactly, but it was the one with the highest acceleration. And so I'm on Bowser, who they were very reluctant to pick, and then a really high acceleration bike, and I came 21st, which was rough. Something I will note though, every time I didn't make the cutoff, I was one spot behind the cutoff. Unless the Nabbit one was different. That was the first one I did, and I didn't track my placement or what I drove in that. I have a list just next to me, whether, like, what character I picked, what position I came, what rally it was, and whether it was recorded or not. That one's a bit easier to track. But yeah, so, like, Baby Mario, I came 5th. Daisy, I came 9th. I'm, like, one off the cutoff both times. I've come 1st with Cow twice in a row, and then seeing Waluigi. And the other two that I mentioned, well, I guess the Bowser one, I came 21st. So I was, like, one behind the cutoff with that one. So yeah, I felt like I was really close to being able to get through every single time. I didn't feel definitively out ever, which I guess is a good thing. I'm still mad about that Baby Mario one. I could have been through, man. I should have been through if it wasn't for smart steering. So I mentioned how easy it was to get coins. There were some times where, like, I drove through a bunch of coins and I wouldn't pick them up. And I don't know whether that was because of lag or what. I feel like I should have picked up, like, 5 or more coins, and I see my count coin still sitting at 1. Did I just say count coin? Coin count. Well, I guess that is just going to stay in the video. I can't be bothered editing all this, like, voiceover at the end, so you're getting the supercut. I thought about uploading each race separately. On second thought, I don't have the energy. I only barely had enough energy just to sit here and, like, it was even very basic trimming of these clips where I just, like, cropped out bits where I appeared, because I don't think people want to watch me. I think they want to watch the race. And then trying to fix the video quality a little bit so you weren't getting blinded as much. But I remember in this race, the Nintendo person that was there, we were actually just having a really nice chat the entire time. Discussing some things. Talked about how the lightning feels. How I should just kind of sit back with mushrooms like 99% of the time. Like, what I'm doing right now feels really stupid. I just open myself up to getting hit. And I'll probably get hit again somehow by something. And you'll see me mention about how much time is left. Because, like, some of these stints are so long, but they do kind of creep up on you. So it's not something you can just, like, completely switch your brain off when you're driving. But definitely towards the start. Like, I'm in 19th, and I feel comfortable where I am. Like, I get a golden, I'm like, okay, I'm set. I don't need to use this. Yeah, I just have to, like... Sometimes you feel like you don't have to do a lot. But I think you also just kind of... There's so many other things, like, small things to worry about, you know? Like, random green shell has been thrown back from probably, like, 3rd place that's bounced back and hit me. And I'm still in 19th, and I'm, like, towards the end of the stint, it's getting a bit scary. I went a bit early on the golden shroom. Straight through the mud. And then I used the bullet to save myself. Which I felt really stupid about using, but I did need to use it to probably save my race. I got jumped on, what the hell? I really like the effects, like the words that play above when the blue shell or the bomb or the horn is used. Really nice touch. I think it helps, especially since there's so many other drivers around, and there's just like so much more going on. There's double the items. There's, you know, so much more to think about. And you just get a bit more visual clarity, and it's so much easier to tell when one of those items has gone off. And it's just like a cool effect, you know? I feel like I get like Mario Party vibes kind of from that. You get to hear me complain again about the boomerang. I am actually like, it's completely valid thing to just like get mad at. Is it why is it the way that it is? I don't get it. I wonder who at Nintendo just thought like, oh, let's do this, and it's a fun little thing, teehee. Got saved by Golden here again. I will admit, it feels a lot like they probably toned down. I was talking about this earlier, the power of the lightning and toning it down for the sake of like having more drivers and to make it less like, you know, the race isn't completely decided on when the shock is had. Also, you can see the power of the Kamek, like locking the steering or like stopping a drift. Can really send you the wrong way at times. But something again, with the lightning that I think they did to maybe make it not feel as bad is the effect is a lot more, like, dramatic. And you can see all the bits of lightning striking all the other drivers, and it's really, like, intense, and, you know, you feel very, like, strong when you use it. Also, this goddamn dry bones, player 15, got a vendetta on them. Them and player 14. Can't believe you'd pick dry bones. Just kidding, I can totally believe it. Everyone's allowed to pick who they want. And you can see the cow again, like the Kamek. I just was completely, like, unable to do anything. This is a fun little moment. Again, watching me fail this hairpin again. So bad at the game. You'd think after the first time I realized that it was a hairpin and it was very sharp and you can't just, like, start from the inside and hope that you'll make it, unless you brake drift. But, like, I'm not brake drifting. I might have done it once, maybe. Probably more in free roam when I was trying to line things up. I'm trying to think of some other things that were particularly, like, something to remember from the experience, and some other, like, important things. But I'm kind of drawing a blank. I feel like there were probably some moments in the other races beforehand that I just talked over, and I forgot to mention, which is completely, like, not surprising. That is something I also didn't realize, is I haven't seen the horn trailed on both of them when I got hit. The first time was fine, because that was like, they threw the shell and then used the horn immediately. The second time, it seemed like they had that for longer, and they used it on me just to, like... Interesting. I might look at that again later, but I'm not about to rewind the footage and make you all watch it back again. You can just pause the video. That's the beauty of YouTube. But here, you can already see the gap between first and second, and like at this point, it feels like it's already over. I'm not going to catch up unless I get a mushroom through here, but I don't have a mushroom. I have 2 greens and an ice flower. And Smart Steering just doesn't want me to play the game. Not allowed to take me up on that stem. That could be another case of like an off-road one. I'm not certain exactly. But I get like the best combo of all time. 1 mushroom and Kamek for the end. Really did so much right here. Just kidding, it did absolutely nothing. This is like the one time I guess I didn't finish 1 off the cutoff. But, you know. But no time for, you know, dilly-dallying on that one. We're watching me play Pauline. I think I'm going to hit one of the question pads. I forget what they're called. They do have a name. Yeah, I thought I'd try out Pauline. It was I realized afterwards that I played a lot of heavy characters. Yeah, the charge tricks are fun. I feel like before, so when I was playing Pauline in the pre-selection, and I don't think it was recorded in the end because the Nintendo person might not have set it up in time. A lot of the time, I was just like, I put the tripod down, I'd stand there, they'd make sure I'm in the shot, and we'd move on. Also, 3 Paulines in the top 3. How do you like that? I know, Birdo was there. Oops. What was I saying? I'm really good at forgetting what point I was trying to make. Oh my gosh. Flashbang. Wow, I really just did completely forget. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna maybe watch this back and feel like an absolute fool. Maybe I won't watch it back, and I probably shouldn't, just for the sake of my own sanity and not having to listen to my own voice. You can see the lag there, though, on that boomerang. That was, like, where I kind of got a bit concerned about the delay between hitting someone with an item and the coins dropping. There was someone I was talking to later, from Nintendo, or just someone wearing one of those shirts. Also, fun thing, setting off the bomb in a boo, I thought that was like a cool little thing. They were talking about how they love playing the original Mario. I thought it was a really, like, a really honest and wholesome interaction, but it was just a bit funny at the time because they were telling me about how they love the original Mario, and then they go, like, and they do the tune for it, and I was like, you didn't have to, I knew what you're talking about. And it just kind of made it feel a bit awkward, but, they said they got a lot of satisfaction from, stomping on Goombas. And then I was like, maybe this is a bit like, like psychopathic. It's probably a word. Yeah, I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, they were saying how it was like so nice to jump on Goombas all the time, and the satisfaction from hitting the question block and the mushroom coming out. And I was like, yeah, I never played it. Well, I think I might have played it once or something in the All-Stars pack game on the Wii. That's a bit of a, I say a deep cut, not really a deep cut. And I was just kind of like blown away by that conversation. It confused me. Someone up on the power line, by the way. I didn't even realize that until now. Really good if you can dodge items. It could be a really good strategy. Maybe if you get a power item, say a golden mushroom, and you can go up there to like smuggle items further up, I think that might be your best bet. Also, the Mega Mushroom feels stronger. And not in the way that, like, you can run over more people. It was more in the way, like, I think it's probably, I just see the flames on the back of the car from the turbo, and I'm like, oh wow, so fast. Something like that. But I'm sure it's like the same speed increase you would get, like, on the Wii. And again, it's been a long time since I played Mario Kart Wii, and I've played it a lot. Nowhere near as much as 8 Deluxe. I have about 250 hours in that now. Oh my gosh. Gold shell in first. What? Again, yeah. Gold shell's really good for farming coins. I feel like you can comfortably farm coins in pretty much any part of the, like, group of races. At the front, you got uninterrupted coins, you have the coin item, you got a coin shell that comes through and gives you more coins. Yeah, I think I screwed up the timing with that, but I don't even know if you can dodge with food. That would have been a really good test if I was good at the game. But I am... Okay. I'm notoriously bad at dodging blue shells. I don't do it, like, ever in 8 Deluxe or the Mushroom. So yeah, it was surprising that I think I was managed to dodge 2 in the time I was here. It was kind of like in my head. I just had to wait like a little bit longer than I normally would if I wanted to dodge. There you go. My pool lane runs over, and now you get maybe some of the grainiest footage ever. This was so, like, far away from the screen. I'm really sorry about this. This looks like it was, like, I don't know, CCTV footage from the other side of the room. But I can guarantee this is from my phone, maybe 2 meters away from the screen. I picked Peach because, okay, I don't know what hit me then, but something did. I promised my mum, it was Mother's Day, the day I went, the Sunday, and yeah, I asked my mum who I should pick, and she told me to play Peach because it's the only one she knew. And you're gonna get a lot of me in this shot because my shoulder cuts off the coin count. And fun fact, the person I partnered up with for the Grand Prix at the start, he was like on the TV to my right for this. So there's probably a few moments I like look over to my right to see who I see how they're doing. But this is the last one of the Golden Rallies. It is such a shame that of the 9 races I recorded, 6 of them are the same. Or, well, not 6, sorry. 6 of them have duplicates. So I did the Golden Rally 4 times in a row. Terrible luck. And after that, I do 3 ice rallies. 2 of them recorded. So yeah. I kind of forgot about how the Pauline one. I was just yapping the entire time and kind of forgot to comment on how I was doing in the race. And it ended so abruptly. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I didn't win this one. I love driving as Goomba. Very cool guy. Look at that boo usage. Get a golden in 5th. I don't know why I used it immediately. Probably out of fear that there was like a shock or something gonna happen. It's a shame you don't get to see my coin count now. I'd like to think I was up near 20 coins the entire time. Oh my god, I'm just... Don't look at the screen too hard. You could, like... If you squint, it looks really good. Maybe just do that for the next, like, 8 minutes or something. I don't know how far through this one we are. Maybe like a minute and a half.
don't want it to be too good too early in this race.
This guy's like calling me out. This is the other guy that was telling me to eat my ice cream. And he's trying to tell me that I shouldn't be... Well, I guess he was talking to the other person that he was with. Saying, don't be too good too early. And I'm in first. Okay, buddy. Okay, well, I don't know what I was doing then. Something I did do a lot, and I am yet to test this out in 8 Deluxe because I have a really stupid reason for it, is when you're in reverse cam, when you... Oh, like, okay, when you're driving normally and you want to throw an item behind you, you hold the joystick down to throw it behind. And I want to do the same thing when I'm facing backwards because I'm so used to it. So if I'm facing backwards, I would hold down and throw it. And I would hoping that it throws behind me and hits the people that are like, you know, behind me. That makes sense. But it would throw in front of me because it's inverted. And I asked a couple of friends who I've played some... When I dabble in competitive Mario Kart, and I am absolutely dreadful at it, by the way. Yeah, I asked them if it's the same case in 8 Deluxe, and they said they're not sure, but they think it probably is. And I'm inclined to believe them. But I'm also scared to play 8 Deluxe again, which is a really strange thing to say, because I did want to test how 100cc with auto accelerate and smart steering feels in 8 Deluxe to see if it does compare to this in terms of, like, drifting. But it seems like in this game you kind of hop and slide out to the right, or like slide out before you even start drifting. Yeah, you do feel a bit more slidey. But yes, the reason why I don't want to test the item throwing is because it's such a stupid reason. I don't want to play 8 Deluxe again because I want to keep my muscle memory from this day for Mario Kart World, which is such a, like, strange thing to say. And it shouldn't be something that I need to concern myself with. It is 3 weeks away at this point, less than. I think it's like 2.5 weeks now. And yeah, I just don't want to lose my muscle memory in Mario Kart World to play some more 8 Deluxe again. I'm sure I will play 8 Deluxe at some point after World comes out, but it's going to be a while because I guess this is a good time to discuss, like, my general thoughts on the game and what I've seen and everything. I'm super excited. Like, I was telling some friends the other day that this is probably the most excited I've ever been to play a game on release. Ever. I can't even think of something that came this close. I had a lot of... Oh, I had Bullet in first, by the way. Didn't even realize. I was excited when Black Ops 6 came out at the end of last year. But I was more apprehensive because I wasn't sure if my computer was going to be able to run it. My computer's a shitbox. If anyone wants to donate me money... It's a terrible time to bring it up, I'm sorry. But yes, Mario Kart is just going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for free roam. Everyone kind of clowning on... I don't know. I do have some concerns. My main one is, like, the character select. That pisses me off. They had, like, such a good thing going on the 8 Deluxe one where, you know, if you want to pick a variant of Yoshi, you pick Yoshi and then the variants show up. It's so simple. Why don't they just do it with this? Or, like, you know, people have said that there's the sort option, and I'm like, yes, sure, you can sort. But I think from what I've seen from the sort page, you can sort by character, but it still shows all the outfits on one page. Like, yeah, I don't know, mate. It might... Oh, no, I got the turn right this time. Never mind. Didn't take me 4 times before I finally did it properly. Yeah, I just hope that the character select is a bit cleaner. It's, like, so disgusting that you would have to look at it. Yeah.
Yes, that's all we want.
But yeah, free roam's gonna be so much fun. Just like you don't even have to like free roam doesn't require you to do anything. You can just drive around, and that can be so satisfying in its like own right. Just like something to do idly, you know, like waiting for friends to join or whatever. You can just drive around, or you know, you're watching something, you can just drive around. I'm so bad. I'm just so bad. I'm still not sure if you can dodge with the food. Like, from a balance perspective, you probably shouldn't be able to unless it's like the higher tier of food. Otherwise it'd be like way too busted. If you can just like get a free boost item in first that can help you dodge. Like you can get the horn, sure. But also I think I broke the red shell with that boomerang. I still can't get over. It's get your color scheming right. Oh my gosh. Also at this point, the person next to me is still in the race. I don't remember. I think they said, I was going to spoil the race again. They told me what position they were coming, but I just don't remember what character they picked.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're here playing Mario Kart World, the knockout.
But yeah, about free roam, like the P switches, you know, it'd be nice, say if you like finish a mission, you can like quick teleport to it or something, and then you can like do it as much as you want. Or if there's like online leaderboards or something like that, imagine that. Oh, that would be awesome, having online leaderboards for missions. It would give so much replayability to them, because like, you know, some people will go over and play them again if they're a really fun mission, and like I think I will do something like that. Also, a couple of corners coming up, taking the inside line. I have insane map knowledge because I've done this one 4 times in a row now, and we win. Oh, you can tell I was so fed up with playing the Golden Rally. Yo, the Shy Guy outfit looking hella clean. But yeah, I'll see myself playing multiple P switch missions over and over because, you know, the premise of them is really fun. It's kind of like doing a level in Mario Wonder. Like, I find myself replaying Jump to the Beat. I'm pretty sure that's the one it's called. Also, for any casual watchers, I had to bring out the What a Shame. Nindoge, I Can't Kick W. I know you're the same person. I just used both names. I thought this was out of bounds for sure, by the way. I was convinced. But obviously not. Who are some other... Dave PPX. I'm gonna think of some other My Mappers from Cage Rules stream sniping adventures. So Carly, Vici, I think it's Vici, maybe? Forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong. I don't know if you'll ever even watch the video, because I don't know how I'm going to promote this. I might just name it and put it on YouTube and forget about it. I might post it somewhere on Discord or who knows what, but I guess we'll find out once that's done. I didn't mean to say I'll take a picture. New message though. I made sure to get in lots of What a Shame. Needed that. I think I was also in the middle of making another point about something. Oh yes! Replaying missions. Again, my mind just wanders off to other like things randomly. But yes, I was going to talk about redoing missions, kind of like redoing levels in Mario Wonder. I like doing the special world Jump to the Beat a lot because that's such an addictive level, you know? Like, I feel like it's a really fun mechanics sort of level. I'm not good at the game. I wouldn't, like, I've beaten every level and 100% the game, but I wouldn't consider myself good at Mario, like 2D platformers. I think I'm pretty bad at them. But that one's just so satisfying. You get like the rhythm, you got the music in the background, the platforms disappearing, the wall jumps, and it just feels so much fun to put together a good run of that level. And I feel like something similar could happen with a few of the missions in Mario Kart World. They said there's hundreds of them, so sure you're bound to land on one that is going to be good. Finally, some good fucking food. The ice rally, something different. I must have been so happy at this point. I think when I was waiting in the line, people got the cloud rally. And I was fuming. But this is the one that starts on Sky Sunday. But yeah, I get to play this one 3 in a row. We love it. Free food item again. I think it's actually really good to go for food early because everyone's so addicted to taking the inside line that you're going to drop positions getting the food, which means you get better food, but you're not actually that far behind everyone. I'm still yet to figure out, like, obviously there's some things that no one has figured out yet purely because of like, you know, you don't have exposure to the game. You don't have it in your own hands yet. Like, some people have played it at these events, but you don't have enough time to test things. Like, is the food, like, you know, the tiers of food, that like the weak food or the strong food or the middle food, is that based on position or distance to first, you know? A very, like, minuscule thing to think about. But it seems very good just to go over and, you know, get a food item really early. Just early boost. Depending on where you are in the world, especially here, like how steep that track was, the blue shell can definitely be better or worse for you. I felt like in that situation, I spent a lot more time flipped the wrong way from a blue shell. So addicting, doing multiple tricks, but like they serve no purpose. You do the first one and you can just sit there. I feel like it'd be nice if, you know, it doesn't have to be a major boost to your speed, but it'd be nice just to have like a little to incentivize people doing it, because the only like reason people would do it, also thanks smart steering, the only reason people would do it is because it looks cool, which is like kind of like some of the other tech in the game at the moment, like with the charge jump, and then yeah, and like grinding on the rails and stuff. Like, they don't seem particularly faster. Also, Shy Guy's coin box animation, that is so cute. I think it's perfect. And you see me spamming the wave because they got rid of the horns, and so Shy Guy just waves. That's very cute. Also, for other people you would have seen in some of the other races, I didn't mention it because it's just something I kind of forgot to mention. Is, you know, in online races in 8 Deluxe, you're sitting there at the line for a really long time, and you're like, when's the race going to start? And some people are in the know. I remember learning about... I feel like I learned about this myself. Also, sorry again for the flashbang. I hope it doesn't last too long. But yeah, so when you're sitting at the line waiting to start, holy shit, that's bright. Apologies. Might be fixed? No, I doubt it. It's gonna get worse again. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, you're sitting there, and you want to know when the race is gonna start. And something that, yeah, I feel like I found out on my own, but seems to be quite common knowledge, unless maybe it isn't. I don't know. You spam the X button or your reverse cam, and the moment that you start looking behind you, and your camera flips is when the race is about to start. Really helpful in online lobbies, especially when there's a lot of lag or like it's taking people ages to get in. Also, this is a really fun section to drive through. Obviously, like the tricks, you know, it's a bunch of them, but they don't mean a lot. But it was just so fun chaining them together. Be cool if you could like pixel perfect roll dodge. Getting absolutely bullied by Wiggler. Worst day ever.
Welcome, folks, to the Nintendo Switch 2 experience. Come on through.
But yeah, the scenery is beautiful. I found out that my food wasn't actually that strong. I misjudged how good my food was, but it was good enough, I guess. Something, again, I might use the feather here that I mentioned before, how bad it is for acceleration. It's quite dreadful. What I was going to say was, yeah, something that took a little while to get used to is how long a charge jump requires before you can actually trick with it. There's a few times, especially in the water, that I like press, like I'm holding the button down and I think I should be able to do the trick, but I go like just like a millisecond too early, or just too early in general. Also, I just got absolutely rolled. Holy. Yes. I already forgot my train of thought. That's ridiculous. I was talking about 2 seconds ago.
Who can topple the Cooper King? A new item there being used as cannon.
I was back on an even playing field with everyone else on this one because this is the first time doing this rally compared to before. Good bullet timing. Oh, this was... that actually drove me up the wall so much. Exit of bullet. I'm in the... like, right in front of a car and the timing is just so rough. I hated it.
Congratulations to those of you who didn't quite make it. Get in line again. We are playing Mario Kart World all day. Please feel free to jump back in line.
I'm so, like, I'm just trying to think of things to talk about because I don't want to leave you with... which is probably a bad thing. I don't want to leave you with just the gameplay, which is probably what you're here for. You could very easily just mute this video, and you could have muted it like an hour ago, and I would have not, like, be none the wiser. No, just thinking about the event in general, I was so fortunate to be able to go. I missed out the first, like the random chance, but I was able to apply for someone who had cancelled the ticket, and it was very, very fortunate. I applied it like as soon as I could, and it was maybe 15 minutes after the opportunities had arrived, and I got an email saying that someone was cancelled. I was really surprised that someone cancelled that so early on, but it took the opportunity, and you just don't get another like experience like this. Yeah, even just sitting in the lobby beforehand, like looking at the accessories, like the camera, tiny, but just like I was like maybe one of the first 5 in our group to get in and just like start looking at everything, and the Nintendo music's playing, and I could just feel this massive grin starting to appear on my face because I was like, oh my god, this is like one of the best days ever. I feel I just, you know, yeah, I had an absolute blast. So like, yeah, just yeah, really thankful for the opportunity, and yeah, some regrets that I maybe didn't play another game the entire time, but again, like, when I get the Switch, it's the only game I'm going to play for a while. I want to play the new Pokemon game that comes out. later in the year, but like I'm just gonna be playing Mario Kart World for who knows how long. But yeah, big win for Shy Guy. Boom! Back to back, baby. Back to back. Okay, here we are. Last race recorded. So I picked Goomba here. Funny, I was talking to you about the little story about the person who really likes jumping on Goombas. That was the person who was on this screen at this time. So I feel like in defiance, I had to pick it. You're going to see me play some really... Excuse me, sorry. You're going to see me with some really bad mechs here. I saw there was a thing in that little area, so for the next like minute and a half, you're just going to see me back and forth in that section. But yeah. So this is the last one I have recorded. The 3 races after that, I'm just going to tell you the results of those. So after this one, I picked Rosalina and got the Ice Rally, and came first. And then there was the Bowser race that I came 21st in the Golden Rally. And then I picked Cow in my very last one, came 5th in the Moon Rally. So they're all ones you've seen already, like the rallies themselves. I wish I could have recorded the Rosalina one. I think in hindsight maybe I would have been able to. My phone was about 21% when I checked after the end of this race. I just kept going on the rail like a bit of a fool. But yes, so that's how the rest of them went. And at the end, we got a goodie bag. I got a little backpack that's got Nintendo Switch 2 on it, and I also received a water bottle, like a tin or like a metal water bottle with a nice little finish on it. It says Nintendo Switch, and it's got red all over it. I thought it was very nice. Yeah, I just had so much fun the entire day.
Multiple racetracks.
Trying to think if there's anything really to talk about. The rail grinding might be the most fun thing to do in the game. I didn't even get to like go near DK Spaceport or anything. And like there's all the Grand Prix and everything. I didn't even realize these showed up. I was good enough that I hit the wall and could fall down. I kind of forgot that happened. But we got the Ice Rally again, that's right. I said it before. But I did get the Ice Rally 3 times in a row after 4 Golden Rallies. Absolutely dreadful luck.
3, 2, 1, go!
Go! Woohoo!
And they're away, folks. 24 races, bumper to bumper in this first half of the racetrack. They must place 20th or higher in order to remain on the track. 20th or higher.
I'm sure there's things I like haven't mentioned yet. I can check. I did talk about a few things in the Discord server. I might just be able to scroll around, see if there's something I missed while I'm reading.
Taking himself around the corner there, covered in ice, thanks to that ice flower. Players racing to get above 20th. You do want to be above 20 before we get to that.
Yeah, I know people have talked about sections being boring. I didn't feel that. I think it's just definitely a byproduct of watching compared to actually playing it yourself. You know, you get your hands on the game, you're more in it. And it's you know, you don't feel like you're just kind of sitting there watching someone go really slow. Also, the speeds, that didn't help either. But I think the biggest problem is definitely when you just watch someone do something. Like when you watch someone play a game and you're like, wow, so boring. But like, you know, when the controller's in your hands and when you actually are like the one that is like controlling the output and like, you know, I'm in control of what's happening. and you need to be paying attention the entire time, and even like the minuscule things like just slightly shifting across the track to get into a to an item box, or dodging an item, or using the reverse cam or something. I feel like it's not an issue. I said the drifting was slightly different, felt more slidey. Snaking. Someone asked if I was saying that drifting was slightly different, and then they said that it was to try and stop wave dashing, or whatever it's called. A bit too melee pilled for that one. I was saying... Oh, excuse me. I feel like I have to cough so much. Yeah, I was saying that I feel like characters with higher speed stats are better than characters with better acceleration in this game. I said acceleration might be bad just because of the abundance of coins. Golden mushroom is really good. Strat just to sit at the back, get a golden, and even though you're not using an item to get past people, you will just probably pass people who are hitting themselves in the back of the pack or in the pack anyway. So it's not something you really need to worry about. Chemic item kind of locks your steering while you transform. Drafting is also really good. Pro controller joystick is maybe the smoothest thing of all time.
There can be only one. Mario Kart World, of course, launching on the Nintendo Switch 2. An absolute staple in the series. 16th or better, folks. Here they go through that gate, heading into the next stretch of the rally. Oh, Orange Josh knocked out of the race so far.
There was this one kid at the event who was, when we were waiting in line together, who really, really liked Yoshi. He was maybe like 5 or 6 or something, and he's there with his dad, and he's, oh my god, he's watching on the big screen. There was a big screen up to the left kind of where I am, and there was a Yoshi on screen, and he's, oh my god, the Yoshi, and he was watching him right to the end, and he was so excited. And then I think he played one I think we played together in one of the ones that I didn't record. And I think it might have been the one I played Bowser, because I left really early and saw him playing after. And he made like top 4 with Yoshi. And like, damn. Good on him. But he was the biggest Yoshi fan I've ever seen. He must be so happy with the meta in 8 Deluxe.
In his airplane cart. We're going to double check and cruise in. How are these races doing? Absolutely immaculate performance from Luigi there.
Yeah, getting caught trying to trail an item that auto-trailed was something that, like, someone mentioned that they hope it's an option, but I think it's just going to be on automatically, and there probably isn't an option. I did 0 wall riding. That is true. I did do 0 wall riding. The rails are fun. Drafting was the best, but the traffic and other obstacles on top of everything does make drifting and charge jumps worth it. It's nice to see they kept the thing if you spam X. Oh, yep.
There is that cow once again, and yes, I'm not trying to insult the poor gentleman. That cow is racing there, 8th or higher, folks. We do need to get 8th or higher if we are to stay in the game. You will need to push just that little bit further if you can. But yeah,
I'm just like so excited to play in solo. I should probably stop looking at these notes. I think I finished everything there. Yeah, I'm just, oh my god.
This young lady has a Yoshi on her head. I don't know if she's
it's going to be Christmas in June 5th, not Christmas in July. But like, running around trying to get all the Peach medallions, getting all the coins to like unlock stuff.
Ruining somebody's day. That is not the result we're after, folks. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, getting the medallions, getting the question block, like the question pads things. I forget what the actual name of them is. And then doing all the missions. And getting gold trophies on everything, and then like online is just like, that's where I get a lot of replayability in 8 Deluxe. I play online all the time. And it's really funny to see the discussion of people complaining about Grand Prix having these intermission sections. And I'm just like, grow up. These people complaining about Grand Prix like they play it all the time. You don't play it all the time. You just don't. Grand Prix is something you play on your own against bots. You know, what's the deal? Or like, what's the big deal with that? And then, you know, if you're playing with friends, you play versus race. If you're playing online, you play versus race. Like, come on. It actually pisses me off so much that people are complaining about it. I think it's a really cool addition. It gives life to a mode that is something you play, like, you know, you do a cup like 3 times. Say, like, I need to do the Mushroom Cup in 8 Deluxe 3 times. 150, 200, mirror. That's it. I play it 3 times, and then I go play versus and online for the rest of eternity. So, you know, it gives people a reason to go back and play it, because it's just a different experience than normal. Actually, like, yeah, made me so mad seeing those comments. Oh, bit of a flashbang. But here we go. Oh, still in first? Wow, it got really bright. I'm sorry for that. I could, like, try and touch up the video a lot more, but I do just want to get it out. I don't want to hold on to this for too much longer. I just want to be happy and move on. Also, this shortcut seems like, obviously, you can't really cut off that much with the weak. Oh my god. I just realized in the reverse cam, the little engine, like, that pops out the front of the car, it's a flower. Like a fire flower engine. That's such a cool detail, I didn't even realize. But here we go. Last lap. In Crown City for the second time. I will have some closing thoughts once this race finishes. I don't know what footage I'm going to put there. Maybe it'll just be a black screen. Who knows? I haven't, like, thought this through. I just thought I'd talk over the game, have some thoughts. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to ramble for an hour and a half, but I have been able to. I think he's talking about me.
Goomba is about to take the lead. He is sitting pretty through that fun. Can I get a round of applause for Goomba?
Woo! Easy wins. There you go. So, there it is. All my Switch 2 experience Mario Kart World footage. Yeah, just absolute blast to be able to, play Mario Kart early. I'm so excited for it. It's going to be so much fun. I hope you guys enjoy the footage. You can clown on me for the quality of the gameplay, the quality of the recording, the quality of my microphone. It's like, just fucking go crazy. I don't particularly care. I want to get out there and, you know, something like more for people to watch before the game comes out, because everyone just eats this shit up. And shit in a good way. Like, you know, I won't keep you guys for too much longer. Just, yeah, I'd say subscribe, but this isn't really a channel that I care too much about. This is mostly archival footage of a different game that I play. So, you know, check it out if you want. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope to see you in Mario Kart World. Feel free to leave comments. I'd love to have more discussions and answer questions in the comments and stuff, because I'm sure there's things I missed talking about other silly things. So yeah, thanks everyone, and yeah, see you in Mario Kart World maybe.